Another week, another trading cycles video. It's week 16, 2024. My name is Urmas and I'm here to give you an overview of what has happened last week on the markets and what we can expect this week. Before we do, you are free to smash that like button obviously, and feel free to share this content as well if you like it. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. So I also need to remind you that this content is provided for educational purposes only. You need to do your own due diligence before making any decisions, and always trade the price, not the prediction. So what happened last week then? Basically, well, interest rates are still a hot topic, so to say, and there are now rumors going on that there might be even less and less interest, and even there might be some hikes coming up this year. So the tables are turning quite heavily. And commodities prices have gone quite high as well. Obviously gas and gold and so on are leading the way, and also cocoa and what else is there? Coffee, for example, yeah, they are going to the moon. Obviously mortgage rates are climbing as well in US, which are affecting the housing affordability. And the UK showed a marginal economic growth, so things are slightly improving in the UK, but we'll see how it's all gonna end soon. European Central Bank did hold rates steady, so there are no changes so far, but we do expect Europe to start cutting rates before US does, yeah, so we'll keep an eye on it closely. Now, obviously the banks started their results announcements there last week, and JP Morgan was one of them. Their CEO Jamie Dimon did speak out as well, and on his letter actually he did bring up quite many things and challenges that he thinks are quite important to bear in mind, so including inflation, government deficit, global uncertainty and political division. So he thinks that these are obviously a big threat, and they are eclipsing basically anything since World War II. Now, if it is all that bad or not, obviously we shall see. But yeah, things are not looking good indeed, so you might be right in that sense. Who did also speak out was a former Treasury Secretary, Larry Summers, and he did point out that Fed's next rate move is likely a hike. Well, we'll see how it's gonna then play out there as well. Now, Wells Fargo did say on Monday, I believe, last week, that they are very bullish and setting their target to 5,500 for S&P 500. And next day then their Chris Harvey did say that I don't feel that bullish at all. So we'll see. Well, there are some ups and downs obviously going on, and obviously everyone throwing their opinions left and right, up and down. So we shall see where it all takes us by the end. Now, the results did come out. JP Morgan did surprise quite a bit there. The results were expected or even better, but their outlook was not that good, and therefore the price of the stock did fall quite a bit after the earnings. Wells Fargo reported also quite good quarterly profits, although down year on year, but still above estimates. And the earnings per share was $1.2. Citigroup also had quite good earnings, $1.58 per share, and BlackRock did achieve a record 10.5 trillion in assets under management for Q1, which was also quite good result there. Now, looking at salaries in Europe, and what we can see here, that obviously Central Europe is leading in that sense. Luxembourg and who else here? Austria and Germany are fairly good salary payers per hour. Obviously Iceland as well, and Norway. But the worst ones tend to be those Eastern Bloc here, and Obviously also Portugal and Spain are not that good in that sense. In US, what has happened, obviously they can't afford their any housing anymore. Yes, compared to 10 years ago, yeah, it's gone really bad. So obviously the real estate has gone more expensive, and yeah, salaries don't pick up as fast, obviously, and food prices have gone up as well. I did see one comparison where, for example, fast food chains have hiked quite a bit in the past 10 years. For example, McDonald's prices in US have doubled in the last 10 years, and I think the lowest grower was Starbucks, around 40% in that time. So yeah, things are not easy, and obviously if you look at the grocery stores, then yeah, that's quite bad as well there. If you look at the growth of asset classes, then since 1970 till last year, the best performing has been obviously stock market, and S&P has been the leader there. But second best has been corporate bonds, and then gold. What has been lagging has been real estate for some reason there. Yeah, so it's still best to invest in the stock market, or if you look at the past performance, obviously that doesn't obviously guarantee that it's going to be in the future like that, but yeah, it seems to be the case at the moment so far. Looking into the technology sector, so that has been the driver obviously of past years and decades growth, and computational capacity over time has been increasing very fast in recent years, and that obviously has allowed that artificial intelligence also to bloom as it has. Now, technology earnings for the past quarter have been also led by basically communication and information technology sector. There was also utilities obviously in play, but the worst ones have been then energy and materials. Yeah, so we are still counting on technology to lead the profits on the stock markets as well. Yeah. But Goldman has said during the week as well that it's maybe time to take tech profits and invest elsewhere, but I wouldn't count on that. Obviously, it's all about perspective. Yeah? So if you look at the short term, then yes, there is a correction taking place, and possibly we will see even lower prices in the next coming months. But if you look at the long run, then yeah, I think the technology will still lead the way for the next years to come. All right. From the technology side, TSCM or Taiwan Semiconductors has obviously been in news as well. They have now been allocated about 6.6 million to expand their operations in Arizona, and they also were offered a loan, I believe, in addition for about 5 billion. So yeah, they are expanding to US to US government's requirements there, and they also reported a significant revenue increase in March. Intel is challenging now NVIDIA, and they did bring up their own AI chip, Gaudi 3, I believe. So we'll see how this is gonna work or play out. NVIDIA has been lagging behind a bit with the price of the stock, so they are kind of in correction phase, but they did recover as well quite a bit last week, so we will look at the charts a bit later there. Now, looking at China has been in news as well, and obviously Fitch did downgrade China's sovereign credit rating outlook to negative, so that's not looking good at all. And obviously we do know that China's economy is not doing very well either, and the real estate market is crashing and so on. So nothing good going on there. But what they have been doing, they have been selling US bonds quite heavily and instead buying gold for quite a bit, yeah, and quite some time already. So whatever they're planning, they are obviously building their gold capacity there, yeah, quite a bit. Now, from other news, Alibaba shares rose a bit after their founder Jack Ma re-emerged. Okay, so basically he did announce that company is facing major reorganization, and markets did do like it, obviously, but there are still so many unknowns, let's put it that way, yeah, in China, so it's quite hard to invest in those companies at the moment because the government's interference and so on. Volkswagen too has decided to invest in China, so they're planning to invest about 2.6 billion in their EV factory there, so it's a bold move, but yeah, we'll see how it's going to play out then for Volkswagen. Costco did emerge as well, so they have been selling gold coins and silver coins to general public there, possibly about 200 million in revenue, I believe it was, yeah, every month, so quite heavy gold seller. Okay, well, we'll see. That's obviously pointing that US citizens are not really secure there. Yeah, they are trying to put their money in the more reliable assets, possibly. All right, well, that's from the news then. Disney did come to my attention as well, so they have indicated that they're planning to invest about 60 billion over the next decade, and especially in parks and experience division, which represents about 36% of its revenue, but 70% of their operating income. So it's a good area to invest in, and obviously considering the technology and everything else, they have quite a lot to build up on that as well. Yeah, so we will see some new attractions probably quite soon from Disney as well. Now let's look at the charts as well. So weirdly enough, the markets did come down, but it's been still tilting to the growth side. Yeah, so the value stocks have not been really in favor for the past times, and obviously small caps did lose out even more than mid caps did. Yeah, so it's still in that area. Our forecast that we did put out last week was playing out quite well. This is the actual result then. So basically it did catch those turning points quite well, and it did end up the week on the lower end, as we did point out there. Yeah, so that was a win, obviously. 50-day moving average has come down as well quite a bit, so it's now on sitting on 37% there, and 200-day moving average for S&P 500 did come down as well to 69% now. And volatility index VIX did see some volatility as well. I believe it hasn't seen that big of a bar since, was it March 23, I believe, yeah, somewhere there. But yeah, the volatility has been growing, and it might go even higher, so it has touched that trend line there now, and even exceeded a bit, but it didn't close above it, so we'll see how it's going to play out this week then. Technically, S&P 500 did show that little red candle there. Now we are seeing some weakness already, and there is resistance forming as well, but it's still in green, so we're not that bearish just yet, although today is Monday the 15th, so basically the market has been dropping, but we will cover that a bit later, what we might see this coming week. Yeah, all right. Weekly chart did see a drop to that support level here, so yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't drop any further just yet, but we'll see how it's going to play out then. Technicals for Russell 2000, it has been dropping quite a bit, but it's still in that channel. Yeah, so it's now touching that support level again, but there are more bearish signals coming into play as well, so obviously Russell 2000 seems quite bearish already, so we might expect this market to start dropping even further now. Sector performance for last week was quite red, yeah, as we see here. So the best ones were communication and technology. They did held the best, but the worst ones were real estate and financials, and obviously two of the bank's earnings there, yeah, or earning reports, not earnings. Okay, so the outlook was the one that scared the market off, yeah. Heat map did show that there were only a couple of winners during the week, so mainly Apple, Google, Tesla and Costco, and yeah, nothing really else. And winners and losers, yes, there were a couple of technology stocks which did win, and obviously the biggest loser was GL, I believe. They had some sort of court case there threatening them, so that's why it dropped around half of the price it lost, yeah, during the week. So didn't look good at all, so that's why the chart is so tilted, because of that one company. Okay. Now insider trading has been slowing down week by week, and last week we didn't see absolutely anything really, so nothing major, yeah, no selling, no buying, yeah, really. Fear and greed index has come down to neutral. It's standing at 46 now as of end of last week, and crypto is still in greed zone, yeah. Seasonally we should be now heading to the higher side, but possibly to the lower side as well soon, so obviously that's a bit weird. It doesn't play out as well as it has been in past years, so this year might be a bit different. Or is it manipulated? Well, it's hard to say, but yeah, it doesn't work, so we have looked into other cycles that tend to work a bit better nowadays, yeah. So let's go over that. Astrologically we have seen now quite a bit of volatility last week, as we did point out, and this week we do expect that these aspects by the end of week will have quite a lot of impact, so they should track the prices to the higher side, yeah, let's put it that way. But today is quite important day, so basically if that's going to be a turning point, then yeah, we shall see then higher prices by the end of the week. And we still have Mercury retrograde as well until next week's Thursday, yeah, so that's something to bear in mind as well. So it is giving us more volatility as well. Black box is pointing to the kind of trend is pointing to the downside, yeah, so it's not looking that good anymore, not strong as it was. Now what to expect next week on the markets? So Bitcoin halving is obviously coming up probably on Saturday. It's hard to predict, but that's where it is standing at the moment. So and what it means, well, usually Bitcoin has obviously risen quite a bit after that halving event, not obviously immediately, so there might be some correction still along the way. So it's important to follow the price quite closely technically as well, so that entry points are obviously correct. But yeah, that's something to expect. It has happened before, and possibly it's going to happen this time as well. Major reports are still coming as well, so obviously financial sector like Goldman Sachs, American Express, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America and Charles Schwab are expected to provide their Q1 results, and also some other companies like Netflix, United Airlines, Procter & Gamble and Johnson & Johnson, I believe, as well. Fed is speaking as well again this week, so they are still in picture quite heavily. And also economic and housing data is coming out. Now this week's prediction is here as well, so this is what we expect S&P 500 price movement to be. So today obviously the prices have gone down quite a bit, and the turning point might be tomorrow, or yeah, we shall see how it's going to play out. And the next turning point should be on Friday there, I believe, yeah. And if you look at the cycles prediction here, that has been quite accurate. So last week it did play out as we expected, and from here we can see as well that today should be the low, and from tomorrow on until Thursday we should see markets recovering a bit, and then Friday might be another down day, but yeah, we'll see how it's gonna play out then or out. Now looking at certain turning points, so these have been laid out already a month ahead. So basically next one is standing on today's candle here, and another one coming up is on Friday on the 19th. Yeah. If you look at the gold market, then gold did reach that top 1 day after our turning point. Now it has been declining a bit, but the next turning point is coming up on Thursday the 18th. Yeah? So we'll see how this is going to work out. Gold did see a turning point on Friday, and that was the double top there basically, and now it has been declining quite a bit. The next turning point for oil market is coming up on Thursday the 25th now. Yeah. And Bitcoin, yeah, let's have a look here as well. So Bitcoin has seen quite a bit of volatility there because of the Middle East crisis there between Iran and Israel. Yeah. Brain freeze there. But yeah, so basically that has affected the market as these events took place over the weekend, and crypto market is obviously tradable over the weekend. It did recover a bit, but still, yeah, it is on that downward trend since the last turning point, which was on the 8th. So basically we might see prices declining now up until the 22nd, which is the next turning point coming up. And after that we have some bullish period coming up as well. Yeah, so that's what we expect at the moment at least. All right, so let's have a look at some charts as well. So Apple, first of all, Apple has been in that range kind of here, bouncing back and forth, and as we did see last week, it did reach that support area once again, and then it did bounce back against the general market move. Yeah, so that's why we did see Apple on that green zone as well on the heat map. So basically what we can expect, as it used to be, like where Apple goes, their market goes, but at the moment it seems to be going to the opposite direction. So we'll see how it's going to play out. So if markets are going to recover, possibly we'll see Apple to still continuing to the lower side, but something to obviously follow quite closely. But if not, it should reach that resistance level once again. Yeah, we do expect that at least. If you look at the short-term chart, then yeah, it's basically still in red, so not much has been going on, but there has been a divergence coming into play, so that's why we did see that bounce back as well quite heavily. If you look at Amazon, Amazon has been very strong today. It's declining a bit, so we shall see how it's going to play out. There is a divergence in play as well, so that might be an indication that Amazon starts to correct soon after as well. At the moment it's still all green, so if those support levels do hold, and then yeah, there's nothing to worry about. But yeah, if they're going to be broken, then we might be on a new turning point already. If you look at Google's price, Google has been quite strong as well, so also nothing to worry there at the moment. It's all going strong, although today it has been declining and also divergence in play. So again, those supports are quite important here. What else? If you look at Meta, Meta is also correcting a bit. Now it's been moving in that channel kind of in here, and if that's gonna hold, well, I hope it's gonna hold, but we'll see what is gonna happen there. Is this not working? This is not working at all. Okay, well, that's all right. So basically, yeah, there are some trend lines, yeah, here and here. Yeah, so basically if it's gonna keep that support line, then yeah, we should be okay with that. Okay, so let's have a look. Next one, Microsoft. So Microsoft is also correcting a bit today, but it's still all in green. I believe there's no signals just yet, but it's been moving on that sideways action here, and If those support lines are gonna break, then we should be in more trouble. But yeah, at the moment the resistance is there and divergence is also in play. Netflix, what this one is doing then? Yeah, it's also correcting, and I do have that support level here pointed out at 601. So if that's gonna break, then we might be heading to the lower side as well. So all of those major markets are now correcting quite a bit, so it's important to keep an eye on it, what's going to happen tomorrow on Tuesday. What else? And Tesla, yeah, obviously. Tesla is correcting as well. There are some support levels obviously below it, so again, if those will hold, then we're okay, but if not, then it's going to be more to the downside. And I did forget NVIDIA. Okay, so let's look at NVIDIA as well. So NVIDIA did break out last Thursday, I believe, yeah, from that trend line. And if this is going to be now new support here, then we are all good. If it's going to break below and it was a fake out, then yes, there is another correction obviously coming or continuing. Yeah, let's put it that way. Okay, and PayPal is also correcting, so this resistance level here did hold. It has formed double top, although it's not that strong as the first one was, so basically it's kind of softer top here, yeah, so we'll see. I do need to see more strength obviously to decide on PayPal, but in general it's a good company, and we'll keep an eye on it very closely still, yeah. Just need to find a right entry point. And we did see last week we did see an S&P signal as well. It did point to the downside, and that should be valid now up until Friday this week, so let's see how it's going to play out. At the moment it's been quite accurate, yeah. Okay, good, but that's about it, so let's wrap it all up. I'll wish you a good trading week. There should be quite a lot of opportunities, and I'll thank you for staying with me as well till the end, if you are still listening. And if you did like this episode, please click the like button and share this video as well with others. Have a great week and happy trading.